FOG Andrew here. Oh, wait, I'm going to do that clap better. FOG Andrew here and the coach here for Family and Gamers. Welcome, War Gamers, to an exciting, awesome live stream. We're here in our beautiful living room.
I just put this in. I just put that in. Look, we just built that today. So there it all. We already got people waiting. It's should we give them a few minutes and we'll give shout outs?
Sure.
All right. So we're not going to do anything. We're going to wait for everybody to come in. Oh, you did? You got to bring water.
I have my water.
Yes. So, but anyway, let's start talking. So
what's up, guys? We're doing our live stream. Hopefully, once a week, maybe.
We'd like to do it once a week is good.
You know, we want to do this weekly hangout. You know, we have the Discord server where we talk to you guys and stuff like that. But it's cool to actually, you know, interact with you guys for the live stream. I think it would be cool. We could have some guests. You know, it'd be cool, and we could talk about whatever. You guys can ask questions. And yeah.
So that's cool. So who we got here? We got Modeling for Advantage. Kaiser, is it you or is it Johnny B? And the one of the greatest guys in the world, Rusted Beetle, is here. So just hanging out and doing whatever. So I guess we can start, right? We should go around the table. So what have you been up to modeling wise?
I have been what have you been up to modeling wise?
No, I'm asking you first.
No, but what have you been up to modeling wise?
Well, I asked you first.
Personally, I have been working on many projects, many modeling and painting projects. Now
I'm wondering where you painted because I never see you painted. You're like a ninja.
Well, if you see right here, look, I did this barrel.
So why don't you go to the bookcase? Go to the bookcase and grab your stuff. Right.
Anyway, no, I have not been doing anything. What have you been doing?
So I finished. I've actually. Let's not do that. Let's talk about videos. Why don't we do that?
All right.
Well, hold on. Let's do. I'll do what I've been up to. So I've done a bunch of. I printed a bunch of things for 3D printing for Print and Paint, and I think I got about 6 videos that I have to edit. I have 2 ready to go already. So that's why you know, I've been working on that a lot. Painted up. So basically, I was painting up the stuff for Test of Honor and Test of Honor table. So I did the river, which will be a video. The bridge, the not the Shinto temple, which I want to do, and I printed and I primed the walls, but you know, it is what it is. So that's what we've been doing there. The barrels, the sake, all that stuff. So I'm gonna put the things like that. So that's that.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't really been doing anything. You're doing all that stuff, but I think let's get into. We should probably get into what because we got some stuff we want to talk about with you guys and stuff. For example, Test of Honor month. Test of Honor month went very well.
I think so.
We did a few battle reports. We did some painting stuff. And we're kind of leading into March. We still got 1 or 2 more videos to do for Test of Honor month, but also in March. So, you know, we've been doing that. If you guys haven't seen the Test of Honor month videos, go check those out. We did 3 battle reports posted right now, and then we have that. We have the interview with Graham Davey, and then we got
which went really well.
Yeah, and then we have 2 more videos that we're going to be posting, which we're not going to talk about, but you know, those will be coming out hopefully soon.
Right.
So, you know, we've been doing that, and it's been good. Test of Honor is a great game. It really is. And then, you know, this Test of Honor month was focusing on the Sengoku book, the expanded rules book for Test of Honor, which is great. added a lot of great stuff into that and into Test of Honor. So it really was a good, transition. So I like the book, and the games that we played were fun. That third game was a little annoying, but looking back and watching that battle report, it was kind of funny.
It was good,
But
and I think the next video, we can kind of spoil it, that the next video is going to be the final breakdown of the book.
yeah,
But I think it was a good idea to do a whole month dedicated to it, play a bunch of games, go through it, build it, do all that stuff, and then give a synopsis of the book, not just to, usually when you do an unboxing, you get it, you unbox it, you take the stuff out, and you talk about it right there. But I think it was smart for us to wait at the end. I think that was your idea, and wait at the end of the month to do it, because get a few games under our belt, because then we have a really good idea. Because when we read it a few times, I remember there was the 2, 3, 4 rule, and we had no idea how to do it. Then once we started, okay, that makes sense. But it wasn't until we were playing the game to give a really good breakdown of doing it from experience. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. So, like I said, those Test of Honor games that we did were really fun, and we like you said, it was better to, and you'll see in the video, because we didn't want to review the book and then not really know how things worked. Like, from experience, we knew how to use the stuff in the book, and it made more sense. But yeah, so Test of Honor month went really well, and don't worry, guys, we're going to do more Test of Honor videos coming out.
We focused on that. So I think the next thing we've been really getting into, which that's another thing I've been painting a lot of, is the Crisis Protocol, Marvel Crisis Protocols.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a video for that coming out soon, so stay tuned for that. Which I think we were editing that, and that's pretty much ready to go up.
Yes.
But yeah, that's we played a couple games, and what happened?
You're glowing.
Oh no. Yeah, I don't know what's going up there. I think
that's locust.
Yeah, those are the bugs.
I know, beetle. I saw it. It's just got to deal with it.
Yeah, I don't know. The infestation hasn't been really working.
Yeah. Go ahead, keep talking.
But anyway, yeah. So we played. Oh God. Oh my God.
All right.
There we go. That's better. The locusts have gone away. You got kind of some over there.
That's all right. That's my my chi coming through.
But yeah, we've been playing that. Really fun game. I'm really enjoying it. The models are great. As you can see, I painted up so far. I painted Daredevil here.
Well, that's not painted. Don't show that.
I'm working on it so far, and he's coming out pretty nice. But do we need models for Marvel Crisis Protocol? I would think so.
Yes. Well,
yeah, I would think so.
That is the miniatures game that it has. It's the game, and the cards go with the game. So you need that. But what's unique about the game is it kind of fits in with what we like, because it's very Dead Zone-ish in the way that the scenery is a huge part of the game. The only thing is the difference between, like, say, Dead Zone Crisis Protocols, as far as the scenery is depending on how strong you are and what size you are, you could pick stuff up and throw it. So you can pick up a car, you could pick up a building, you could pick up trees, and you could throw it at people. So
yeah, the rules. See, Rusted Beetle's got some Adepticon swag.
See, the Beetles is on point, man. So we'll talk, Beetle. I'll send you the postage for it.
But the rules for Crisis Protocol they're very simple.
But they're a little dicey. Some of them are.
Yeah, but the rules are pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I feel like that makes it dicey is when you're doing a bunch of different things with different characters, and then like the card has everything. All you got to do is read the card to know abilities, basically.
You know what? I think a suggestion would be is because the way it works is you start off with 10 models, and then from the 10 models you roll to do a mission, and then from the mission you get to pick your guys. So like 10 guys would be, I don't know, like 50 points, let's just say, but the mission's only 17, so you got to pick 17 points, and
or 15 or 20.
It depends on the mission.
Yeah.
But what we really need to do, and what we started doing last time, was taking about 10 minutes, reading the cards really well, and then playing the game, because there's a lot of little things that you can do.
Right.
So you know what I mean? It's pretty cool.
But at a certain point, like taking certain characters, you kind of like, okay, I'm gonna do this, all right, and then you kind of just do it, and you after a while what everybody's got, so you kind of get used to everybody's things. And it's funny because it's like, all right, I'm gonna hit you. Okay, let me read my card for 10 minutes. Okay, I got 3 hits, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna roll my defense. Let me just read my card for 10 minutes. So it's like,
and then there are other cards that you could use once a game to heal or counter attack or stuff like that.
Yeah. So I like it. It's been pretty fun.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a pretty good staple here. I enjoy playing it. We'll get some, and what's great about it is I know a lot of people are playing like in New York City, but I see more of like going other places, like, every type of terrain and board that we have can be transmitted into someplace. So you were saying like we had a jungle theme, and you're like, oh, well, we can go to Wakanda.
Right.
I'm like, wow, that's awesome.
Or we have like the temples. We go to Wakanda, or we can time travel and go to feudal Japan, or we can go to
Mars.
We can go to War World, or whatever, Battle World, and go wherever. Like we could just use everything. We could go to Hoth. We can do whatever we want. But
and that's another thing too. In the 3D printing and painting videos, I'm going to start making more of a natural kind of stalactite, natural Hoth place, but with alien alien foliage and alien rocks and whatnot. So that's it. You want to do some shout outs? Let's do this. So I'm gonna use the new thing here. So Kaiser's here. Look at that. And Kaiser says you get around to fixing your samurai cavalry and attaching those important arrow chases. That would be negatory, because like I discussed on your show, how silly those look and nobody has it. And I showed on your show that we have bits boxes. So next time we're going to invite you guys on here. We could bust your balls the way you busted mine the last time. So, but that was awesome. If you guys check out Modeling for Advantage, great channel. I love those guys. Here's my boy Dread. Do you remember Dread? Solving Abuse, the guy with the really long dreadlocks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he's still around. Great guy, great channel. That's yes. All right. Now here is Andrew painting. I didn't think he did that.
Well, yes, as you can see, I showed my Daredevil that I painted.
If you were here, you could smell the BS, but you're not here. It doesn't go over the intrawebs, so you can do that. So, and what was this? There seems to be a lot of games called Crisis Point. Which one is Crisis Protocols? It's the Marvel game.
Marvel
Crisis Protocols. So yes, you realize that it was Crisis Protocol. It's actually a pretty good game. I'm digging it, man. It's pretty good. And there was something where we were playing. It was actually pretty cool. So Baron Zemo was there, and then Crossbones came up, and he knocked him. He hit him so hard, and I think 2 attacks with him, and he was carrying 2 cubes, which is part of the mission. And I hit him so hard that he dropped the cubes, and it was something that you would probably see in a comic book or maybe in the movie, where the guy's got something, he gets it and then he throws them up and stuff. So it's very cinematic.
It's a very cinematic game.
Yeah.
Like I could just picture the comics that can come from those moments. Like I had like what was it? It was like I had Bullseye and like Sabretooth, and then you had Daredevil and Wolverine, and then I had Dr. Octopus in the background, and we were all converged in the middle on this one objective. And then I think, who did I kill? I forgot who I killed.
Not sure.
I think I killed Baron Zemo. The only time Baron Zemo died.
Because I had him.
Yeah. And Bullseye. He killed Zemo. And then he was like, okay, I'm gonna run over here, and then he left to the other objective, and I was like, I could just imagine, like, and then he runs away, like.
I think this is going to be one of those games too that we'll start doing battle reports, and you will see that I will never win a game because at this point in time, I have not won a game yet.
Man, I'm doing great. Test of Honor month. If we do a Crisis Protocol month, I'm sure I'll do great. Like.
I think just through my expert tutelage and osmosis, you've become a better war gamer. So it just that's how it works. You learn from the best, and therefore you were the student, now you are the master.
Now I am the master.
So there's that. But another thing that's been going on here, which I know that it's kind of near and dear to your heart, and in the past I think really intensified more over the lockdown, because we were kind of stuck here, and we were playing a lot of games. That's where the whole Flames of War thing came up, and then that's where we started doing Flames of War and making terrain and working on that stuff, and we did a few videos about that. Was that you started to really get into board games?
Yeah, and
so you maybe want to talk about that.
Well, it was definitely like in the last year, getting like card games and board games, but not like Monopoly or Yahtzee or like that stuff. Like good games, like actually like Monopoly. I think I played it once or twice. I've never had fun playing Monopoly.
Well, you know what it is with Monopoly? It's basically like, because I was actually really good at Monopoly, and it's like, you would land on something, and then you'd have to give me all of your money and all of your property. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all that money and all that property that you owned and that I'm taking from you and use it to destroy everybody else. But I'm going to destroy them in a way that's like demeaning and horrible. So,
right.
That was the thing about Monopoly. And it was fun, but it wasn't fun. It's like when you're on the losing side, it's really demoralizing.
Right. So I think it first started with Exploding Kittens,
right?
Because I remember Hot Dice brought it over to the bunker one day, like a few years ago. We played it; it was pretty fun. Then I got it at Target, and I got that and all the expansions. Of course, that's a running joke, by the way. Is that me and expansions are not a good combination.
My thing is play the game for a while and then get the expansion, not get everything at once. That's your
yeah, okay,
yeah. But
anyway,
but for miniature games, you won't do that,
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with Crisis Protocol,
right.
But Exploding Kittens, fun game. The expansions are fun. You have to wear a cone. If you forget the turn order, or there's one of the other expansions is you can wear a hat that makes you invincible. Like it's just stupid stuff. Then there's like other games like party games and stuff like that made by the people that made Exploding Kittens, like Throw Burrito, You Got Crabs, stuff like that.
You Got Crabs is awesome.
Yeah, that's a great game. We need to play a 10-player game of that, because we've done like I think the most we've done is 6.
Right.
I cannot imagine how a 10-player game would be.
It really is awesome.
Yeah. So those games were pretty fun. Then it started getting into things like Disney Villainous, which me and my girlfriend loved that game. I started watching all the classic Disney movies. I did a review on the main box on the channel. It's a really fun game. I think it's a very strategic game, because you have to really think a bunch of moves ahead on what you're going to do, and then you have to see what everybody else is doing. It's a really fun game. I think we got the Marvel Villainous one 1st,
Mhm.
and then I was like, okay, this is pretty good.
I like the Marvel one.
Yeah, well, because you played Ultron and you always won.
That's all that matters.
Because you cannot not win as Ultron.
That's not true.
It is true. I think every time I've played Marvel Villainous and somebody's played as Ultron, they've always won, including Fabian that one time.
Oh yeah.
That's how you know that
Yeah.
Ultron is an easy character to play.
Okay. You made
So, and we thought that was fun. But then I started. My girlfriend's huge into Disney, so we got the Disney one, right? And then I was like, okay, let's watch the movies that the characters are from, and then they have 3 expansions. So I'm like, okay, let's watch the movies that the expansion villains are from, and it went on from there. Now I have all the expansions, and they just came out with the new one, which is great. And honestly, I think that Villainous is definitely, out of all of the games, one of my 2 favorites. You know what the other one is, but we'll talk about that. But yeah, that's my favorite. And we got into that, and then at Target for the Black Friday deal, they had a sale on board games. They were half off. So I was like, ooh, let's see what they got. So I bought Catan, which was half off. I could not resist for half off because it's $50,
right,
like normally,
right,
which is like crazy,
Mm-hmm.
But
it's definitely not worth $50, but it's definitely worth 20. It's
it's
an incredible deal.
Definitely worth the $25.
Yes.
But that is I feel like that's a classic introduction game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's very simple, but like it's easy to learn but difficult to master.
Right.
It's one of those games.
You know what? But so is chess.
Yeah.
Chess is very simple, but it is they say the grandmaster of all games, where it's a simple concept that certain pieces move. There's only like 7 pieces that move certain ways, and then everything else comes down to strategy. So, just because the rule set itself is simple doesn't mean it's not tactical, or it's not doesn't take a lot of tactics to make it happen.
Yeah.
So by like Dead Zone, people, version 1 was just too convoluted. It was too much. But then version 2 came out, streamlined it, and everybody's like, wow, this is really simple. But simple doesn't mean boring or not tactical. Simply means just that you don't have to worry about the tactics so much, because that happens all the time. Like, let's just say, for argument's sake, 40K. I forget to do something, and then my opponent goes, man, but then again, that's life. If I get to put in my number 1 running back and he doesn't run the ball and we don't score, that's life. It's my fault. There's no do-overs.
Right.
So,
Yeah. And you know what? Beetle, Ticket to Ride is another one that I got, which is also, I think it's a good relaxing game.
It's not, because that's really, you don't really, I'm not going to say you don't have to think, but it's like, it's kind of laid out for you,
Yeah.
It's
well, with 2 to 3 players, you're absolutely right. With 4 players, and then I did a 5-player game. Wow, that was so fun. So like Ticket to Ride is definitely a game that's like, the more players you have, the better.
Right.
Because 2 players, you can kind of do whatever you want.
It's like a party game, really. It's like, you have a party. And
right. 2 players, you can kind of do whatever you want. And that's the thing. That's another thing I've been trying to do lately, is kind of like, okay, like, these are good, like, games where we need 3 to 4 people. But what about just like 2-player games? So like the Towers of Arkanos is a dice building tower game, which is you didn't play it 2-player yet, but that was a very fun 2-player game. So like I've been trying to find stuff like that, that's a good 2-player game, but you can do 4 players with that. But and also like, the smaller games, there's a lot of smaller games like Love Letter. I know you love Love Letter.
Love Letter is awesome.
We love Love Letter.
Love letter gets intense. Though.
Yeah,
love letter gets very.
I think if we did a video on of us playing Love Letter, it'd be probably the greatest video on this channel.
The second greatest. The first one is Pug Plays 40K.
That's true.
That's the greatest video on this channel.
But yeah, so yeah, like I've been getting into all those board games, and so what I want to do is do board game reviews on the channel. I think that would be an interesting thing to do, you know, spice up the channel. Like we do a lot of miniature game stuff, and to be honest with you, those take a while because we got to play them, we got to do all this stuff. And board game reviews, a lot simpler, not as much goes into doing the miniature stuff, you know, where we have to really sit down and set up takes an hour, and then playing takes a long time because we're filling it. But if we do like a board game review, I think it would be a lot simpler and easier to do.
I think maybe with that you should consult Beetle, because Beetle is like a board game savant. No, I'm serious. It's like I remember I said I sent him a message and said, hey, Andrew's doing the review of Villainous. It's more up your alley, because I know him and Alex are big time board gamers. And he said, well, I don't like this one because of this, but Andrew should try this. And I was like, okay, well, we got this. I never heard of this. So it's good to know, because I know Beetle and Alex are really into it.
Right.
And, so, I mean, Beetle, would that be something? I know you might be interested in it, but you could tear Andrew apart when he messes up. So that would be the price of admission.
Yeah. And Beetle, I've heard of Carcassonne. I don't
Let's
know.
go.
Yeah,
we
could show the comments.
We could show the comments. So Beetle is saying that our family had a lot of fun with Harry Potter Hogwarts battles. Ever hear that?
No, but if it wasn't Harry Potter, I think we would get it.
Really? You don't like Harry Potter?
I do not like Harry Potter.
Why? What are you, a communist?
No, I just
I liked Harry Potter. Just the one movie before the last movie I didn't like, but I liked them when they were kids.
It's just like
it's Harry Potter, bro.
I had this debate in high school. I had this debate in high school with my friend who said he was like Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings. I'm like, well, Lord of the Rings. Come on.
But that's not a fair comparison.
And then he was like, well, what if the Lord of the Rings characters, everybody alive and dead, came together and teamed up to fight everybody in Harry Potter? I'm like, well, obviously Lord of the Rings. Yeah. And then he was telling me about like all these spells and whatever. I don't know, man. But anyway, Harry Potter, I just never cared.
I like Harry Potter. So you know what though? Look into it, because if the game is solid, then it doesn't matter if it's Harry Potter. So let's go to this one. Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion is great if you're looking for a campaign game.
Yeah, I've seen Gloomhaven.
Everybody. All right, so at work, I got one guy who's a really avid board gamer. I showed him Dead Zone. I showed him all that stuff. He really did like it. But then he was like, have you ever played Gloomhaven? And I was like, I've heard so much about Gloomhaven, but I know nothing about Gloomhaven. Maybe that might be something to look into.
I've heard of Gloomhaven. I've seen it at Target. I've watched our god Rodney Smith, did videos on it, and that's like I feel like that's an in between board game and miniature game at that point,
right?
You know what I mean? I'm not saying I wouldn't get it, but I'm just saying like, I feel like that's like a later on kind of game to get, you know what I mean? If I start doing these reviews, you know what I mean, and we could start getting into that. The only thing is that I saw was, you have like different correct me if I'm wrong, Beetle, but I've seen like there's different parts of this map, and then you have to put stickers on the map when you complete areas or whatever, or you go to different areas, but then you can't take the stickers off of the map. So then then you can't go back to it, and if you do, it's like the same thing. So like,
well, you know what? Maybe
it's $50 for just one campaign, and then you done like, okay, there's I've seen this at Barnes and Noble. They have escape room board games. It's $15, and it says difficulty like 2 out of 5 skulls, and you get it, and you solve the escape room, but in like a board game style. Sounds cool, right? You can only play it once. After you play it once, you know what to do. So then that's it.
Yeah.
Like, it does take apparently like 2 to 3 hours to complete.
But that's just the thing.
know?
You buy it and you play, and then you're done with it. We're
Right.
not used to that. We're not built like that. So
Yeah.
But let's see this. Modeling for Advantage. Monopoly player elimination. Game lasts hours. Poor game design decision if you want to remain interested. Yes. There's so many new games. Calculate abstract points keeps you playing. I agree 100%. Monopoly is just too weird. So Beetle is telling us that Catan is a classic gateway game, and Ticket to Ride and
Carcassonne.
Carcassonne.
I've heard of it.
Is that Carcassonne?
I think it's made by Z-Man Games, which is Pandemic.
Right.
I think. Beetle, correct me if I'm wrong. I've heard of it. I've seen it at like Barnes and Noble and stuff. I just never. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, you know what? Once we start doing this, and then like we have a lot of good suggestions here. We could look into those too.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ticket to Ride Nordic Countries. It's a smaller board game, more crowded, and 2 to 3 players only. See,
that's what I like about Ticket to Ride, because we haven't gotten any of them yet. But the maps you can get, like for example, it's like the Japan map.
See, that I would like,
of course. But then you can flip the board over and it's Italy.
Oh, okay.
So you can get 2 maps, but then like the Japan map, it adds new rules. So you have to like when you do certain thing, you could put a bullet train down.
Okay.
And then if you have to help develop the bullet train, then whoever develops the most gets more points later at the end of the game. So there's like different like it adds more things. That's what I think would make Ticket to Ride more interesting, to get the maps, because I know they have Ticket to Ride and they have Ticket to Ride Europe, which is just
so basically get the base game, and then those are the expansions.
And then those are the expansions,
new maps and stuff.
New maps,
okay.
New things. They do have like Ticket to Ride New York, where you put down taxis. Or London, which is the the buses.
Right, the double deckers.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So
all right, E.S. Taylor. Hey, what's up, brother? How are you? Let's see what else. The company makes removable sticker set. You technically don't use the stickers, just can keep notes. Okay, so see, it's a good thing you didn't put any stickers on the thing. And
it is by Z-Man.
By Z-Man, yeah.
Yeah, those are the guys that make Pandemic, which is also a great game. By
Pandemic
the way, Pandemic
awesome.
is a great game.
But you know what's funny though is that Pandemic is a cooperative game where you're working together. So like. It's funny that we recently played Pandemic, then we played Hellboy, and you had to work together. And your girlfriend doesn't like to play those games; she wants to play.
We played Hellboy, and Hellboy was really fun. But then she was like, "Oh, I don't really like it because like we're we're all winning." Like I'm like. We're working. As Georgie would say, we're working together,
right? And she doesn't like that.
And she doesn't like that. She's like, I want to win on my own. I'm like, okay.
And it was funny too because she came here the first night and we were playing, and we were getting on each other. What were we playing? Love Letter, right?
I think it was Love Letter or Exploding Kittens or something.
Yeah, and me and him were going at it hard, like no this, no that, and she's like, but guys. It's just fun. We want to be into fun.
Yeah, and then
a week later,
and then a year later, she's like, "I want to win."
Yeah, she got over that real quick. It was, just.
Well, listen, Beetle. We'll talk in the Discord DMs. We'll talk it out. We'll talk about what's some good stuff. He says Jaws of the Lion includes 25 scenarios, so it's like playing the game 25 times. See, listen, this is. See, sometimes I can't rely on Rodney Smith. I gotta rely on Beetle, my boy. But maybe Gloomhaven is something to look into. It looks like, and Beetle, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like it's kind of like D&D, but like a lot. But it's more like, okay, like this is what you can do instead of like D&D. It's like, oh, you do whatever you want.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which I like that, but also I'm kind of like, I don't know, like I don't know. I feel like I need like a set of rules to follow. You know what I mean? Like,
well, with D&D, that is more of in like an open world type deal. But the real thing to have a really good D&D game, you have to have a dungeon master who's ready to kind of guide you. If you're just going by the book and you're doing, because I know when we used to play, and my DM was he was good, but he was like, like I have a character for 5 years and he's going to die. Yeah, well, he's going to die. I was like, no, you can't figure out how to do it. He was so strict by the book. But it's more like guys who are not going to get into that intense of a game, but just a little inkling of it, because at the core, the game is really good, but then they don't want to get into it so much, And also, too, maybe I want to get together and we'll play a 3-hour game. We can't get together every week and do 6 hours of D&D. It's just not going to happen. So it's almost like watered down, take a lot of the abstract pieces out, get a game and then play it so we could play in 2 hours.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing, too, is with Pandemic, great game, but they have a campaign box. So it's like,
now which is this? This is what game? I'm sorry.
Pandemic.
Okay.
So you have like it's like Pandemic Legacy or whatever, where it's like you go through a campaign. So it's like you save these, you get rid of these diseases, and then it's like, oh, okay, you didn't get rid of these diseases, so this happens. Now you got to get rid of this disease with this disease, or like different things happen like that. So that would be kind of cool to do. Like a campaign for Pandemic, which is like I think just that sounds interesting.
Yeah. But you know what it is though too? The one thing I will say is the board game they get you, and you know how they get you is because it's a much of a less of a buy-in than say like Crisis Protocols, which Crisis Protocols is anywhere from $70 to $100. So and that's a miniature game. These games get you for like $50, and you're like, oh, well, let's try it. And if the game sucks, you're on the hook. So I think that's a big difference. So.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why it's like Towers of Arcanos. It was at Barnes and Noble for $15,
but it comes with 100 dice, so you got to get it.
No, but I looked at it now. I looked at it. I was like,
but $15 is a lot less of a jump in than $50.
No.
Or $60.
But that's what I'm saying. No, well, the game normally is $40, which I would not have paid.
No, but I'm saying.
But I looked at it. I was like, oh, let me take a look. Oh, Board Game Geek gives it a good review. This person on YouTube says it's good. This person says it's good on YouTube.
It was pretty good.
And then it's like, okay, and I bought it just for $15 because I saw that it was more than half off. So I think I like doing that where it's like, okay, I get this and then that's it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then expansions though, the expansions. That's the good stuff. I mean, you come on. Catan.
But Catan's different.
Catan Cities and Nights expansion
Catan is different.
Is great.
Catan is
I
different.
can't wait to get all of the Catan expansions. We could do all of the expansions in a 10-hour game.
We're never going to leave. We're going to be doing it. But honestly, if we're going to do that, I'd rather just. I mean, all right, I love Catan, but I would really like to play a 10-hour game of 40K. I'd rather do that.
No, I don't know about that.
Or then play 8 games of Dead Zone. So. All right, so there's a campaign in case you need something to do for 5 years in space for 10-foot map. I mean, we don't have to even put it in the living room. All right, here's a special guys, Ball Bros. So me and my man Rick, I'm going to send you a message, but we'd like to have you on the show. So get ready. All right. Seeing as you haven't mentioned it yet, Dominion is a great game as far as deck builders go.
See, I've never even heard of that.
See,
and I've heard. That the what is the I think is it Fantasy Flight that did the Marvel card game?
What do you mean
the deck
the new Marvel
building one?
The new one?
Yeah,
that's actually Atomic Mass. No, actually, I'm sorry,
it is Fantasy Flight.
Yeah,
it's like Marvel Champions or something. That's like another deck building game that I hear is pretty fun. But like with that, it's like, okay, here's $15, and then you get the Quicksilver. Character pack, and then you can play as Quicksilver, or like, oh, you want the Green Goblins? I saw it at Barnes and Nobles, like the Green Goblin scenario pack. Now you can fight Green Goblin, and this happens now, or whatever, and it adds things like that.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't know about deck building games, but we never really played anything like that.
Well, I think the closest we got to was Dice Masters.
Well, no.
Yes,
it's a dice building game, not a deck building.
Or
game.
The Transformers game.
Well, no, like I no. That's just like a card game. Deck building is like, okay, there's this stuff.
Magic.
Okay, I'm
Magic
going to take this now. No, that's a card game. That's not a deck building.
Then I don't know what I'm talking about.
Deck building, you know remember the DC deck building game?
Yes.
That's a deck building game.
I got you.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that. You draw cards from the middle and then you to build your deck so you can add more things later on. It's kind of like that, basically.
Okay.
Not like a trading card game, you know?
Gotcha. Jaws is not D&D. It's a board game where everybody has a hand of cards. And you play cards to move and attack and can only do it if it is on the card.
Vito, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insult Gloomhaven.
Yeah. Let's see here. Okay. ES Tail is saying first edition, more rules oriented, the hack and slash. Latest fifth is loosey goosey and puts the players in much chance. You know what? It was crazy though. Playing first edition of D&D, there was a chart in the player's handbook and I don't remember if it's player's handbook or the Dungeon Master's handbook, but the Dungeon Master's guide where there was like a scimitar, and there was this chart that you had to go by, and it was like it went by armor class and to hit 0 and stuff, and it was a lot. I mean, there was a lot of charts like in stats and stuff to go by. It was nuts. Yes, yeah, it was D&D. Yeah, I remember playing first edition. I remember that Keep on the Borderlands and Tower of Inverness and all those classic games. Now, Kaiser, I usually agree with you, but you hate Pandemic. Some player you realize that it's not a multiplayer game. It is a committee game where one person tells everybody else to do because there is a best way to play your turns. Yes and no. It is like that because I always tell him what to do, and then he argues with me, and then he'll say something, and then I argue with him. So it becomes a fist fight, which is awesome.
To be fair, though, it was me, you, and my girlfriend. It was basically us arguing on what to do, and then we telling her what to do. That was pretty much it. I agree, but then I don't agree, because if you have a group of people that equally have played Pandemic, together, then you all are kind of trying to figure out what to do. You know what I mean? Like, I watched my girlfriend's family play it, and it was her parents and her brother playing it, and they all were trying to figure out what to do. You know what I mean? Because they played it, like they just started playing it. So like they kind of were figuring it out together, and then also kind of talking about what to do. So like, when you have a committee like that of people that have played it, an equal amount, it's better, Right. But I do agree in some sense that, it's kind of just us arguing about what to do, and then yelling at people about what to do.
Right.
But
okay, let's see. Yes, the weapon chart, the armor class adjustment only applied to armor and shield modifiers, so you needed to know unmodified AC. Yeah, I remember that. And then I did a streamline in OSR supplement. I did. Oh, I'd like to see that. So, but we get a chance to check that out. Because I know we wanted to play D&D, which is one of the many purchases that Andrew did, but we just never got around to playing it.
I bought the starters kit and then the essentials kit. The starter kit comes with pre-made characters, dice, like a little campaign, and then a little rule book. And then the essentials kit comes with the Dungeon Master screen, more dice, and then like another campaign, but like a bigger one, and then like more rules, and then like blank sheets to make characters.
Right, then you got to buy modules and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to love D&D. I mean, it really was, a lot of fun. So maybe we should, because everything is. A lot of role-playing games are judged upon D&D.
Yeah.
Plus, we have enough models, enough terrain to actually make a 3D board, and then we have enough actual D&D miniatures from back in the 80s. And also, remember we went to a convention and they were like $1 a piece. So we bought like 50 monsters and dragons and stuff. So it was, maybe something that we should really think about. You know? So here, I just feel that there's no player agency. It's not your turn; it's everyone's turn. If you allowed, that's great. If not, if you are quiet, it is not. But it's a good game for students who have more quiet personalities to have them speak up a little bit more. So, so I don't know. I agree though, Kaiser. It gets to a point where it's me and Andrew know everything, and we think we know everything, and me and him. It's usually me and him fighting over stuff,
and then we still lose.
Yeah, actually, our track record of Pandemic is pretty good.
We have lost a couple of
times, but I think we've won more than we lost, which is the game is made to kill yourself. So to kill the earth with this pandemic, which I think everybody was playing Pandemic after the global pandemic has been going on, which I hope everyone is safe and whatever, get your shot, do what you got to do. So we got a A-lister in the house here.
We got the man, the myth, the legend, Hot Dice. Listen, Hot Dice, we can play some D&D.
We could, but like I did invite him over this Sunday, but he decided that he's going to go hang out with other people.
So I see how it is.
That's how it is. Set him up, barbecue, all the good stuff, and he's going to go somewhere else. I think he's going to play X-Wing or something.
X-Wing, but Star Wars.
I know. So yeah, we didn't do too good. I mean, X-Wing was fun, but we kind of stopped, and then we started playing Legion.
No, X-Wing and Legion were both fun. It's just like I felt like Legion got to a point, and I've said this before, Legion got to a point where it's like, all right, we're coming out with the Clone Wars, like not even a year after the game came out. Oh, now we're coming out with all of this new stuff in the span of 2 weeks. I'm like, all right, calm down. Let me get this stuff.
It really was almost every 2 weeks something important came out where you needed it. So it was a little tough,
Yeah, and it was. I thought it was crazy because it was like, it's especially with that, it was like, oh, like I like the Fleet Troopers. I would like to get another set of Fleet Troopers so I can run 2 squads. Oh, now they're coming out with Clone Wars. I kind of want to get to Clone Wars. Oh, wait a minute. Now they're coming out with this. Now I go, oh, okay. So you're coming out with this now. Like, I don't know. And, X-Wing was fun.
X-Wing was fun.
It was fun. But then it was like, then second edition or whatever it was came out.
Well, yeah, they had to fix it.
Yeah. And then it was like, okay, now you have to buy these converging kits. I'm like.
But the thing is that that's one of those things where, like a new set, it's like 40K 9th edition came out, needed the rule book, needed some new stuff. I mean, obviously buy some new models because they come out with it. They are trying to make money, but what happened, I in a way I can't fault Fantasy Flight for doing it because the game was broken, and what they said was like, okay, we're going to fix the game and you're going to get out with this. And then they came out with packs that, you could probably get it for like $30-$40 a piece. But those were all in line with each other, and everything was rebalanced. So you kind of have to, like even us, we don't really play. We have $1,000 worth of ships, so
right.
You know what I mean? But that's the way it is. Let's see here. Is a mix of Advanced D&D Combat and Metzger BECMI edition with race and class, limited role, and HP every level. Okay. So it's you're at a high level there, E.S. Taylor. So, but that sounds very interesting. I'd like to take a look at that. I mean, we should start doing
some D&D
stuff. Yeah. So with I'm skipped one. I'm sorry. Here we go. All right. X-Wing is one of those children's games for kiddies who are too precious to paint and build their own minis. All right. So here's my point to that, Kaiser. I agree with you to an extent. Here's how it works with X-Wing, all right? X-Wing is a game where you buy the game, you set yourself up, you get the minis out, and you start rolling dice right away. Boom, boom, boom. Tonight, me and Andrew can go buy a bunch of ships, buy a starter set, buy a bunch of ships, read the rules, and we can be playing within an hour, okay? Whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, we will be playing within an hour. When you get into a miniatures game, like Dead Zone, Mortal Gods, Test of Honor, 40K, any of those miniature games, you're getting into almost like a lifestyle because I love like we played Mortal Gods. Got the stuff. Got the 3D printer going. I started printing up lots and lots of terrain for Mortal Gods. I printed up a dice tray just specifically for Mortal Gods. It's a Greek temple, and it's a dice tray. I did. I started looking into how the Greeks fought. So it was what the hoplite was with it, and I started getting into almost like a lifestyle, but really getting into it. X-Wing is more of like the board game of getting stuff and ready to go. If you're not a painter, or if you're not a modeler, or you're not into whatever, you've seen the movies, you like the movies, you're going to play it. You know what I mean? So that's how I see that, and it grabs the board game people that can play that game, but then it's like, all right, well, what else do you have? And then they like Star Wars so much, they'll go into Legion, and then that leads to the modeling hobby right there.
I mean, it's my perfect game because I don't have to paint anything.
Right. He doesn't paint them. So, yeah, because it's like, oh, we should get all these games of Crisis Protocols. Did you finish painting it so we could play? You know, it just.
Yeah, you got to hurry up.
Yeah, I'm trying. All right. You know, where are we? I'm
This
lost.
first top one.
Right here. Okay. I haven't played Legion in like 2 years. It just got weird. Rebels versus Republic and such. I agree. But that's why they came out hot and heavy with the Empire and the Rebels. And then it was like, okay, so now we're going to do the Clone Wars. And then we're going to come out with, you know, this and this and this and this and Anakin and, you know, young Obi-Wan and like that. So you had to get a bunch of armies because any good game is not going to have just 2 armies. You got to have at least 6, minimum of 6, you know, that you can do. So,
well, I think he's saying like, you know, playing, you know, Rebels versus clones is weird. You know what I mean? Which I agree, but also like, you know, I would love to see Grievous fight Vader.
Right.
You know, or
no, I don't have a
Maul
problem with
versus
that.
Vader or
But the thing was, it started to expand past the point of our wallets. I think that's what happened. And, you know, for us on the channel, if we were going to keep playing Legion, you know, we have a lot of Rebels and Empire, but then to get a whole new Clone Wars together, you know, that's a little different.
Yeah.
So
let's scroll up a little bit.
I'll scroll up.
Yeah,
Where am I?
There.
X-Wing still loads of
Listen,
fun.
Fabian, if you want to come over and, you know, show us the new edition of X-Wing and, you know, we could try it out.
To be fair, he did try that one time, and then we ended up playing like Legion or something. We could play something else. But, you know, if you want to...
Well, you can try it again.
We could try it again. We'll try it again. And here, Rusted Beetle. X-Wing has more market appeal than a game that has unpainted and unassembled minis.
I do agree.
I don't agree.
Why?
Because I like to paint miniatures.
Yes.
So
but hold on a second.
Here's the beauty of the hobby. Wait. Here's the beauty of the hobby.
Wait.
If you're not playing the game, like last night, we didn't play. 10 o'clock at night, we're not playing. You weren't home. I was painting. I was doing something in the thing while I was editing a video. So I was editing the video and painting.
My girlfriend's brother is a huge Star Wars fan, and if he sees that, he's like, oh, I play board games. Andrew brings over board games. Let me look. Oh, this game where you can play as Star Wars ships.
Mm-hmm.
That looks cool. Ooh, fully painted and assembled miniature. Like, okay, let's see. Someone like that, yes.
Okay.
That's the main market appeal.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
For us, obviously, because obviously we're like, oh, you know, we could, you paint, you know what I mean? So, like, does that make sense? It has more of an appeal to the mainstream market of people that are just getting into games, or maybe that have been playing board games for a while and then love Star Wars. They're like, oh, what is this? I don't have to paint anything, because maybe they don't even paint. You know what I mean? You've been painting for years, so like, you know, it's.
I understand, but I think it does. That's where it goes out. But to hardcore war gamers, maybe not. But hardcore war gamers would play it because it's kind of like a set up and go game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, and it's not so bad. But like I said, hot dice, you want to do it? Let's do it. Let's get into it, because I got a ton of ships.
We have a lot of ships.
Yeah. So wait, if you paint miniatures, class as being in the lifestyle, isn't that shorthand for swinging? I don't know how things are done in England. falling under my animal magnetism here? Is that what's going on? So let's see. X-Wing is a gateway game, gets people into more serious games. I do agree.
Yeah,
because you could do that. And then, well, what were we playing the other day? We were playing something, and then your girlfriend played Dead Zone. She was like, I said, well, if you play this, you can go right into Dead Zone, right? I think it was Villainous.
I think it was Villainous. It was like a mix of Villainous, and we also played Catan. And then we were like, well, if you like games like this where they're a little bit more complicated, then you can start playing Dead Zone. Then she played Dead Zone. She played Crisis Protocol, which she liked also. So
and the main thing is
the only game of Crisis Protocol I lost, by the way.
That's how you get them in, let them win.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that she didn't win on her own. Terrible. Yeah, but now you start to make excuses. So let's see here. Beetle saying the WOTC, D&D, and Star Wars collectible pre-painted minis games are very popular for the same reason. Yep. I agree. Let's see. All right. So now we have a counterpoint. No, is that it? Man, I'm terrible at this. See, I don't think it leads anyone to the hobby of painting and modeling. I find most people never move away from those type of games, and there are 4 people who won't paint. I do agree, but you know what? Our painting and gaming niche is so small that the people who are going to gravitate to it because they're going to go to, like, say, a shop where they play. Like here, we have a game store close to us, and people play X-Wing there. But if you walk in, people are playing D&D, and they're playing other games, and you're like, wow, that's really cool. So the person that would gravitate to it anyway is going to gravitate to it. That's what I think. It's almost like it just exposes you to people who are like-minded. Like I like miniature games. I like doing this. Oh, wait, there's that Legion game. Yeah, well, if you do Legion, you're going to have to build and paint stuff. Yeah, but if I don't want, like, say I don't know how to paint or I don't like to paint, then you get somebody like me and I could paint it for you, and that's how commission painting starts.
Well, also, if you pick up X-Wing and then you're like, oh,
what else is there?
Let's go on Fantasy Flight's website. What's Legion?
Right.
Those aren't painted. You look into that and be like, if you look onto YouTube and then you look at X-Wing videos, and let's say you stumble onto Family Gamers,
right?
And then it's like, oh, what's Legion? And then you look into Legion. Oh, you can paint stuff. Oh, there's a whole nother hobby involved into it, not just playing the game.
And also, like, there was a guy in the comic store that knows nothing, wants nothing to do with gaming, wants nothing to do with that. But I showed some pictures of the stuff that I took, and he was like, I want to buy that game because it's Star Wars. I don't know if he's going to paint or whatever, or he wants me to paint it, but it's like, that exposes it. And then whoever's going to jump in, jumps in. So let's see here. That's up to people to decide what parts of the hobby they want to get into. Pre-painted models don't stop heavier minute painters from playing. I do agree. I agree with that. Okay. But it does open the market to people who are turned off by painting. Okay. Well, you painted. You used to paint. Long time ago.
What?
Yeah.
When was that?
Let's see here. Which one?
Top one.
Oh, I'm here. So
maybe we should switch seats.
We should. X-Wing is a skirmish game in a board game presentation. Take out and play still has tactical depth. We're not saying that it's not tactical, but what I'm saying is that the original setup. Well, that's because he hates comic books.
That's true. He hates comic books.
What we're saying is that with X-Wing, you put the ships on the base and you're ready to go. Take a little bit of setup. With, like, say 40K, we can't just buy the box and go. There's prep time, and
it's about a month.
Even if you don't paint the models, you still got to put them together.
It's a month of preparation.
Yeah, I mean, I got the Indominus set, and I got all the miniatures painted within 2 weeks from when we got it to when I opened it to when we started playing. Me and Fabian were playing, so it was a little bit of a getting ready, but you can do it. But then again, right now we're in the beautiful living room that we have here. But if you saw my painting space, I got my airbrush here, I got the computer here for watching stuff, then the regular paint station here, the 3D printer over there. So I'm ready to go. But if you're a guy,
it's in the kitchen.
It's in the kitchen. Yeah. And you know what's funny? It's 8:00 here, but it's still light outside.
Yeah.
But anyway,
and the locusts are still out.
I have well, not as many.
Yeah,
it's the reflection of my head.
Oh my god!
See that? Look.
All right.
All right. So, but so that's the way it just. That's where I say is set up and go. It has nothing wrong with tacticals because everybody we used to get a lot of flack for Dead Zone being not that depth, but like we said before, simple rules don't mean that simple games are less tactical. It really isn't. So let's see, Kaiser, what are you saying? Oh, I agree. Just the appeal of pre-painted minis games is not about moving anyone over. I think they are precisely aimed at people who won't paint. I agree, but maybe not because we know a few people who have gotten into X-Wing and then started playing other games.
I mean,
but then again,
be aimed for everybody.
But then again, they start playing X-Wing with us, and then they move into other games because we're into other games and we show them what it's all about. So I think it comes to who you play and what kind of a group you're into. You know, like who your friends are. So that has a lot to do with it too. Hot Dice is checking in. WizKids is now appealing to the hobby-minded by having unpaint clicks to paint your minis.
When I used to play HeroClix, honestly, I knew that was going to be inevitable. I knew that one day that they were going to have it so that you can actually paint. I mean, you could have still painted them anyway.
We went to there was one store that actually closed down, and there was a huge HeroClix. I mean, I could not believe. There was like 30 people in one room playing HeroClix. I could not believe it. So they were like, Andrew and Ryan, you've seen on the channel, they were like really into HeroClix. And they're like, all right, we're going to play HeroClix and we're going to do this. And I was like, okay, cool. So we start talking. And Ryan came into the hobby with us and started painting. So we started looking at the HeroClix mini. I was like, you know what? If we wash this with some Nuln Oil and then dry brush it with this, and we do that and do this and do that.
I mean, same thing with X-Wing,
right? It'll be really cool. And the guy behind the counter was like, "No, don't do that because if you ever want to sell your miniatures, your HeroClix miniatures, nobody will buy them because you painted them." And I was like, "They're going to sit in the closet forever, so I might as well paint them and use them." And where are they now?
Sitting
in the closet, right? So. You can. So it's but I think it's cool that they do that. And I know that a lot of people are using the WizKids stuff to paint for Crisis Protocols and for some of the Batman games and stuff like that, just to make it a little different, Let's see here. Just as one side note, I'll leave a link to my blog OSR in the comments section. Yeah, do that, definitely. I want to check it out. And then if anybody wants to check out E.S. Taylor's blog, check it out because we're all sharing here. So I'd love to see that. What's that? Travel the RPG of spreadsheets. I don't know what that means, Beetle. You're more of an RPG guy than me, Let's see here. Hope you don't mind. I'm mainly just baiting you guys because you slated my lazy battle report edits last week. Yeah, we do a lot of editing. And you guys don't, so therefore it's lazy editing. So I went back to watch that, and when I said that, the look on your face, Kaiser, is priceless. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put it on my phone. You stopped and bumped up when I said that.
Make that a GIF.
Yeah. So that might be that'll be the when you're on our show. We're going to use that as the thumbnail,
We'll have it in battle reports. Round 1.
So let's see here. Traveler was awesome 4 years ago. What was the Traveler?
I don't even know. They're having their own conversation.
Yeah, that's okay. Yes, the Traveler can die during character creation.
What's going on?
I don't know. Let's see. 40 years ago even. Yeah. See, we're showing our age. I know I'm through this boyish exterior, I've been around a long time. I'm a lot older than people take me for. I was quoted as 36 yesterday, so which I would give my left nut to be 36 years old again. So, but I don't know. So, you have anything to add? I think this was awesome. We should do this more often. You guys have always invited into our beautiful living room that I did. I did put the fireplace in myself. So if you can see there, it's beautiful. We got the new door over there. Over here is the grand piano. Andrew, next time, Andrew, look, over here. Next time, Andrew, see, the thing is over here. See, no, over here. See the piano. Next time you'll
I'll put
Can
I'll put on a piano.
can you tickle the ivories a little bit? And,
I can try.
You could do that and do that for us. But hey guys, this was a blast. I think we're going to shoot for every week. All right. We're going to shoot every week. It'll be the Wednesday night throwdown, live stream, whatever. If you're here and you're not on our Discord, please join the Discord where we can do it. Kaiser, I'd love for you to be on the Discord. We got a lot of guys. We got guys from like New Zealand and Australia, and what was the guy? One guy's from Guam and upstate New York. So we got them from everywhere. So that's a good way for us to talk to each other. We would love to do it.
There's like I think 90 plus people. It said in there. So,
but we want to thank you guys here. Kaiser, I know it's a little late for you because it's 8. It's about 1:00 in the a.m. So. But we appreciate you being here. E.S. Taylor, awesome. Rusted Beetle is one of our greatest supporters, and he's just an all-around great guy. Hot Dice showed up, and we had Rick,
I think,
Bull Bros.
E.S. Taylor, when this goes up on YouTube, the Discord link will be in the description. So once this is uploaded in YouTube, check back, I guess, tomorrow. It should definitely be up there.
Yeah.
But
it's always in the description.
Yeah, it'll be in the description with our Patreon and other stuff. So
right. And I think we might even have a giveaway one of these days.
Oh.
All right. But Andrew's tradition is to take us out. Let me hide that. We're getting good at this. So go ahead, Andrew. Let's see.
All right, guys. So if you like this live stream, why don't you give this live stream a like, comment down below, and let us know what you thought. And if you missed it, you could also comment down below and check out the description for our Patreon, which helps support the channel, and our Discord server, like we were just saying. And subscribe for more stuff like this. Like you said before, we're going to try to do this every single week. Hopefully, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, guys. That's it. We'll see you in the next one.
Take care. Have a good day. Listen, stay safe out there with all the stupidity going on. Roll some dice. Be happy with each other. And if you ever get down or lonely, get on Discord. We'll talk you up. All right? Take care, guys. We love that you were here.